How's everyone doing today? I'm about to do my first shave with the Passaround from Damn Fine Shave. This week is the Carbon Titanium kit. So I have, let me do my face lather real quick. And the last few weeks I've been using my Ethos samples, and I'm now using the Ethos, I forget if this one's called Success or Pineapple Noir, but just to be clear, because actually I was gonna mention a couple things, and I think this will be good. So you guys went the haircut and shave Passaround was going on, and in my videos I was using SV shave soap, and so I think there were a couple people that were a little concerned that I was using a different soap on that Passaround. But once that razor was done, I've been using the Ethos for the last 3 weeks, so I think people were either confused or concerned that I was advertising for SV, and I want to make sure that during this week of videos, people have my, they at least know how much I have been, or how much I have invested in carbon gear so far, because this is the 4th razor that I've had on Passaround with the forums, all in a row. And those 3 previous companies, Haircut and Shave, which also provided the Ethos shave soaps, I had never used or purchased any of their products. The next one was from Homelike Shaving in Russia. I had never used any of his product before. Last week I was using the Russ razors, straight razors. I had never used or heard of any of their stuff before. So this week, you guys, I can tell you personally, Sean at Carbon, which again, thank you, Sean, for being able to let the forum use this this little kit. Sean has gotten $150 or $140. I've bought one of the stainless steel base plates from him direct. That is the only money he has received directly from me. I did buy a carbon stainless steel cap and base plate with a titanium handle on the second-hand market. So I just want everyone to know this week full of videos and shaves, on video, are probably going to be a little bit more thorough than the previous ones, and it's not because I like the carbon more, although that is true. It's that I know the carbon, beforehand of this Passaround. I have use, with the stainless steel razors. I will tell you guys, I since got the razors. When did I first get my carbon? Maybe like back in May, I think. I have had direct contact, usually just kind of shooting some messages on Instagram, but there's nothing free that I've asked for. There's nothing that Sean at Carbon has offered me. So at least with that out of the way, I hope people can, know that whenever I do these reviews, I'm not trying to, pimp or promote, some glowing review with hopes that, in the future it's gonna help me. So I always kind of just take every single shave video or, forum post with a grain of salt, because even if it's not, we'll say like a shilling, review, it's glowing. Even if it isn't, you never know if something's going to be compatible with your beard and skin. So I think I'll have some positive things to say, but couple things real quick. So the setup that I'm going to use today is, I don't know, are these metal parts made of titanium and then this is made of carbon fiber? I'm assuming that this is titanium, but the handle alone was 17 to 18 grams on the scale. When I first got my carbon stainless steel back in May, the first razor that I used with it was a Kai blade. This is more or less a brand new Kai blade. I'm using the plus base plate, and we're going to do my first, I have I think 2 days beard growth. I'm going to do my first pass across the grain. Now, I'm someone that does prefer a lighter handle, and the original carbon titanium handle that I had, I liked. The balance of it was good. The handle just wasn't quite as wide as I liked, so I sold the handle. Now, I did tell Sean that with this handle, more so why am I forgetting the name of that style, but the handle that I got you guys originally was just kind of this straight style. And again, it wasn't bad, but compared to the one that has the contours, that one I'm going to use on my next shave. I told Sean I'd like to, if it works for me, purchase a handle from him. And I haven't been begging, but I was just talking to Sean and just telling him, yeah, the Razor Rock aluminum handle that I got from years ago has primarily been my most used DE handle. And I think he was kind of asking, like, why would I want an aluminum handle? And I just prefer the feel of a lighter handle, and find that I can just feel a little bit more in control. Okay, so I can't do an across the grain here, so we'll just relather on this area and do an against the grain pass. This last month, I try to do my best for the people that are watching these, either for just kind of entertainment value, or if they're hoping for some sort of information, and or just how someone else uses it. I really do try to give you guys, try to keep that all in mind. And but for me, although I've been wet shaving for quite a while, I do find that for me it's a little harder to give a better representation of what I might be reviewing if I am changing so many different variables. So this whole razor is brand new to me, but having the amount of shaves already in with the stainless steel version of the normal base plate, the 0.68, and the plus plate, I'm pretty familiar with the geometry and how it's supposed to feel on the face. So trying it in titanium, yes, it's totally possible that it's going to be a totally different animal, but in my opinion, it's going to feel a little different, but kind of in that same realm. So using the haircut and shave, using the Home Like Vape DE, those I had no idea what they were going to feel like. So part of this week, you guys, you'll kind of hear a little bit more of my personal experience of, okay, I'm not trying the carbon for the first time, I'm trying some of the different options that he has. And so yeah, like I'm looking forward to trying the plus plate. I don't know if I'll like that more than the original base plate. The .68 base plate, you guys, is nice. I don't know that I would enjoy that like as my only razor. The Carbon Plus Plus, if I had to guess right now, I maybe have had 10, 15 shaves with the Plus Plus base plate. I can't recall exactly. All those shaves were very intuitive. I was extremely happy. You know, but again, I go back to, if it means anything, you guys can at least go back on my channel and see what were Zach's experiences like, his first, his second, his third shave with both the .68, the Plus Plus base plate, and in both of those you see me using a Kai, so I'm trying to use the same blade in this, although the shave soap is, going to be different. Plus there's a little bit of a range in how much beard growth. But I will say, you guys, this year, I guess I've just kind of stuck with trying to get closer and closer to daily shaving. And I would say the Carbon razor is a definite winner in my opinion, just for me personally, being able to get a little bit closer to shaving with less beard and less breaks in between. So just a couple thoughts so far, you guys. This is cruising. The weight on this is very light. I can't remember how much it's supposed to be with the handle on the head. I can do that real quick right now because I'm pretty much done. But it's not going to be as common for me to try out, a new so-called razor, just new to me, and want to shave with less beard growth. But, okay, real quick, let me weigh this. Give me a second. I've got my little scale. This might be a tad light, so I'm kind of curious to see how the handle made of titanium works for me. So the whole razor with a blade, 33 grams. When it comes to handles, I want to be able to have good grip. This knurling, it's better than I think the first one that I had. It's still maybe not the sharpest, but this seems fine for me. It seems maneuverable. I do have to say that Carbon was one of the ones that I haven't seen too many vendors kind of post about like a balance point on their razors. I'm sure Carbon's not the only one that has done that, but it just seems like for how they have kind of marketed and advertised on their website, that there really is an idea when they were coming up with the razor and the handle of where you want to hold it. Let me just give my face a rinse, just see how close the shave is. So still a little bit of stubble in my normal spots underneath the jawline and on the neck. I could go for another pass. I don't know. It'll look close to you guys. Oh, just real quick. If you guys did watch my straight razor pass arounds, I just want to reiterate this point again because I think it's important. My straight razor skills are not up to par. So the last 2 shaves, if you guys catch it on video, it's like my first 2 straight razor shaves in like 5 years. And at the end of the shave, at least on video, I'm going to have some visible nicks, a little bit of razor burn. My second shave was better. But I still walked away from both of those shaves with not the best end result, but still later in the day, my face felt really, really good. And part of that just comes down to kind of what I've been shooting for this, last year is, yes, I want a close shave, but I want as much of a consistently smooth shave all around. And so I do have to say, as much as I love double-edge razor shaving, I think there is kind of an advantage to straight razors, and I don't know, somehow I think it's just going to cut the beard a little bit more aggressively. As long as your technique's right and it's been honed properly, a straight razor should be fairly nice on the skin. I don't know if I have the infographic, so I'll probably put it up on this next video, but for those of you guys that are curious about the Carbon various base plates, and you have blade gap and then blade exposure. So supposedly all 3 of these base plates are supposed to allow for the blade to be kind of in a positive position, meaning it's going to have a little bit more blade exposure that you can feel. But supposedly this plus plate, the blade is tucked back a little bit, so although it's still positive, it's not going to be as exposed as using the plus or that 0.68 base plate. So this again is why I think that it's good to know all of the numbers, or whether something is blade neutral, blade positive, but it's not a universal language. So you kind of just again have to either try it or take it with a grain of salt. And if you're going to try and purchase something based on something that I say or someone else's review says, I think the best thing right now is when you're able to get on some of these forum threads that are really hot, you get some of these guys in there that can tell you this base plate is going to be close to another brand, this style head, this amount of gap. I think those are the little bit more informative posts, at least in my case, if I was really wanting to purchase something. One thing that I think you guys can expect me to do at least sometime this week is maybe I'll wait till I get a little bit more beard growth, and please let me know if you guys have any suggestions. But why don't I try doing a third of my face with the plus plate, or the plus, I can do the plus here, and then the original base plate. And I can just tell you guys, what the blade feel is like, how much beard is left after the passes, how much of a difference. That's going to be, I think, like the hardest thing is when we find a product that we like, we kind of expect to find something else that we like as well, and it's trying to figure out like the amount of difference in them. I think this is what comes to my mind is reading about Morrison Forgeron brushes years and years ago, because the handles get made first, and you might have a labeling of finest badger, blonde badger, and you would get guys on the forum say, at least in my 2 brushes I have a blonde label, a finest label, and yes, they're different, but what they say is they're closer to being the same rather than having a very distinct difference. Okay, and so at least for me, you guys, this is, again, it goes for my beard and my skin. The plus plate is noticeably more intuitive and noticeably more comfortable than the 0.68 base plate. I know that I've been reading more and more reviews on the forums that people don't like this plus base plate as much. So again, if you guys watch my haircut and shave videos, I left that experience trying that Passaround razor, liking the razor, but I think that if I were to try another haircut and shave razor moving forward, I'd probably want the neutral blade gap rather than the blade positivity one. So maybe that's the case for this. Maybe Sean having still some, blade positive design, yet on this plus base plate, it's just a little bit more tucked back. Maybe that's the big difference that I'm noticing, is that my skin maybe doesn't like as much of these aggressive razors that have good efficiency, but it just cuts the skin a lot. I don't know. So hopefully that's not too wordy, but I'm going to be able to get, I think, quite a few shaves in this week because I have experience using the carbon design. I think you guys are going to see me shaving about every 2 days. Maybe I'll probably throw in a couple daily shaves, but this shave feels really good. I don't have any hot skin right now. Trying to think if I should cover anything else. Oh, this was one thing. So someone was asking me if I can feel a noticeable difference between the titanium and the stainless steel. My assumption was going to be, if you have the same design, the titanium is supposed to feel more mild in aggression, but what should yield is a more comfortable shave. Maybe not quite as close, but at least for me, you guys, when I use this carbon, I don't use this cap riding position. I go a little bit closer to pressing that base plate. Let's see. You guys, can you hear it? So I'm not saying that there's one way that's better than the other, but at least for me, I get great efficiency holding it there, and my skin seems to do fine. It doesn't mean that I haven't gotten nicks. I have, but just off of that first shave, feels great. So just to close up, I'm really happy that I'm sure these pass-arounds happened years ago, but I just want to remind people, wet shaving is a very energetic, very passionate hobby to be in, and our community is great. And I think it's just a good reminder for everybody. This hobby is, I still think, niche. And so I think there's times where I hear people complaining about certain prices being too high, or product availability kind of being something that a lot of people are concerned about. And usually that relates to when something is in high demand but low supply, isn't changing. People feel like there's a lot of hype. And in my experience, it's great to support these artisans. I mean, how often do people get to kind of risk-free try a whole razor kit? And I mean, this one's milled. It's out of titanium. We have all these different options. So I really appreciate a lot of the artisans that are in wet shaving. At least to some of our people in the community, you are free to have your own opinion. I just think sometimes we forget that this is a very, very niche community. Although I haven't really needed any customer service from Sean, I know that I've heard, and I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning this, but Sean's just like any other company. You have, your interactions with customers. You try to treat people well. You try to get orders out on time. You try to have some transparency. But I remember being on a Facebook group we were doing a chat, and I think like 4 people in the group, excluding me, had purchased a Carbon, and a lot of them were happy. But I think 2 people had mentioned that the razor or something that they had received wasn't up to par. Maybe it had some like scratches or something. And what they said was they reached out to Sean, and he said, "I'm sorry," and he took care of them. He sent one out. Wasn't a big deal, and Sean can take things case by case, but that's just something. Again, it's hard to shoot for perfection as a vendor, because you want to treat everybody that you can with good customer service. But again, even though I haven't had any issues, it speaks, I think, volumes when you hear other people say, my transaction and what I received was not totally perfect, but being able to reach out to the vendor and say, hey, here's my problem, can you do something? And for that response to be, yes, let me take care of you, I think that that's a good thing. So that's kind of my reminder for people is you kind of have to go a little bit based on faith when we're dealing with new vendors or old vendors. And so again, I think I'm really lucky, along with some of the other Passaround people, that we get a chance to try these different razors. So again, if you guys have anything that you want me to cover, you're going to see me going through all the base plates and the different handles. But yeah, great shave. So I got to run, you guys. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. All right.